Guys, welcome back to Lab Cyber. I hope you're doing well. Today's video, I'm going to cover exactly how Linus Tech Tips got hacked a couple of weeks ago. Now, if you're not familiar with Linus Tech Tips, there's actually a very huge popular YouTube channel with over 15 million subscribers. I personally don't follow them, but they make a lot of really good content around technology. And this hack was so brutal that they actually took over 3 of the YouTube channels. This isn't just the only YouTube channel, they actually have 2 other YouTube channels. So the hackers were able to gain access to all 3 YouTube channels they took over. They renamed the YouTube channel names, and they ended up deleting plenty of videos, and they were also streaming videos of Elon Musk for some reason. And eventually, of course, Linus Tech were able to recover and gain access back to their accounts. But what's really interesting is how the hackers were actually able to gain control of the YouTube channels. Now, in order to do this, you would think that the hackers somehow got access to the passwords and usernames of one of the employees, or maybe Linus himself. They were able to then log in and then take control of the YouTube channels, right? Well, that's not exactly what happened here. See, what happened here was that the hackers were able to gain access by simply targeting something known as a session token. See, if you don't know what a session token is, it's kind of like a cookie. You know, when you log into a website, right, you log in, and let's just assume that you close the window, you close the browser. You don't log out, but you just close the browser. If you open up the browser again and you go to that same site, automatically you will be logged back in. You will not have to log in again. The reason why is because when you logged in the first time, that website gave your browser something known as a session token that's stored on your local hard drive. That session token is a way for the website to identify your browser, so that the next time you're trying to log into the site, you will not have to verify your identity again. The website already knows that, oh, it's you, come right in. You don't have to log in again, right? So it's very convenient. I mean, who wants to constantly have to log in over and over again every time they leave a website, right? That'll be very inconvenient. So the hackers were able to gain access to this session token. And how did they do this? Well, they did it the old-fashioned way. They sent basically a phishing email. They sent an email to one of the staff members, and of course a channel this big has lots of employees. So this email was titled something about sponsorship, and of course a channel this big, they get sponsorship offers all the time. So there was nothing out of the ordinary here at all. This is the kind of email they expect to get. So the sponsorship email went something like, hey, you know, we'd love to sponsor you. We've attached a PDF file containing our terms of agreement. Let us know if you're satisfied with them, and then we can move further, you know, something like that. So the employee innocently downloaded this PDF file, tried to open up the PDF file, nothing happened. But what was happening behind the scenes was that the PDF file contained malware that ended up getting installed. And what this malware did was that it made an exact copy of the browser of that employee. And because the employee was already logged in to the YouTube channels, the hackers basically had an exact copy of the browser, and that's how they were able to gain access to the session token, giving them access to the YouTube channels just like that. So I can't really blame the employee here, because look, it's the kind of email you'd expect to get. One thing I would say is that the employee should have raised the alarm when they tried opening up the PDF file and nothing happened. Of course, when you open up a PDF file and no PDF file opens, automatically you should know that there is something wrong. They should have screamed the alarm. They should have said something at the time that, hey, look guys, I tried to open up this PDF file, nothing has happened, what's going on? And maybe if they had done so, the hack might have been prevented, or the damage might have been limited, but they said nothing, and well, that's basically how the hackers were able to cause so much damage. Now, Linus Tech, on their part, they have some recommendations for YouTube on how YouTube can improve their own security, and he actually made some really good suggestions. The first one being that even though you're already logged in to your YouTube channel, before you can do certain kinds of things like rename your YouTube channel or maybe mass delete some of your videos, maybe you should have to re-log in again, or reconfirm who you are. So basically, the YouTube security system would have to ask you to verify your identity by logging in again. It's the same kind of system that's used in most banks. I don't know about your bank, but I use a bank in America, and what they do is that even though I'm already logged in, if I wanted to transfer money, for example, from my account to another account, I would have to log in again. I'll have to verify my identity again. This is a sure way of knowing that, hey, okay, we know you're logged in, but before you can perform this particular action, we need you to log in again just to make sure. If this security system had been in place on YouTube, before the hackers would have been able to rename the channel or mass delete videos, they would have had to log in again. And even though they had access to the session token, they didn't have access to the actual password itself. So the session token in that case would no longer help them. And I think it's a very, very brilliant suggestion by Linus Tech, and I think it's something that YouTube needs to implement as soon as they can. And because such an attack has occurred against a very, very massive channel like Linus Tech, maybe YouTube might eventually introduce such a security system on their platform. But that's basically the gist of how Linus Tech got hacked. Very, 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 very scary, targeting session tokens. And yeah, hacks continue to get more and more advanced, and unfortunately, no one is safe. Imagine a channel being this big, and of course, they take security very, very seriously, by the way. It's not like Linus Tech had weak passwords or they didn't use multi-factor authentication. They had all of this in place. They had strong passwords. They used two-factor authentication, all this is in place. But of course, when the hackers have already gained access to the session token, hackers no longer need access to your passwords or your multi-factor authentication or whatever. They already have access to the session token. So it's a brilliant but yet a scary way of attacking people, and that's pretty much the gist of it. So if you have any questions or comments about what I have covered in this video, of course, please, I'd love to hear from you. Put them down in the comment section below. If you're new here to the channel, welcome. My name is Alex. I cover cybersecurity news and topics, so please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you next time. Cheers.